Okay, this is Mr. Taylor, one of the counselors at the high school. And what we're going to do today is we're going to review the presentation that we did a couple weeks ago on High School 101 and 201. This is for parents of freshmen and sophomore students. So we're going to get this in presentation mode and we will go through the slideshow. If you have any questions after the show, you can contact one of your counselors and we will have information on the screen on how to do that. So what we talk about when we met was just kind of introducing the counseling department. So as you can see, Mrs. Frakes is our secretary. She is a very valuable person in this department and someone that the students and you want to get to know. She does more than just homework and things of that nature. She is one that will answer all the questions as far as scholarship, transcripts, colleges, recruiters, anything that has to do with our department. And then I want to introduce the other counselors to you in case you do not know. Mrs. Zukowski has the students A through F, and Mrs. McCord has students with last name G through O, and myself, I cover the students' last name P through Z, and we will have your student all 4 years here at the high school. So it just gives us a chance to get to know them, and then if they need something, they get to know us as well. So feel free to contact us if you have any questions. At high school, it's very important for students to get off to a good start, no matter what they intend on doing after they graduate. And one of the biggest things that can affect a student's success is attendance. And so we do have the attendance policy on the website, and we suggest that you review that. But it is extremely important that students come to school. It makes pretty much sense that the more a student is absent, probably the lower his performance is going to be in the classroom. So what we try to do is, point out to the students and to the parents that you're really setting a precedent as far as what you plan on doing after high school. Even if it's just going to work, they do check attendance records. Colleges check attendance records as well as the military. And so as it states in the slide, attendance has been shown to be an accurate predictor of a student's academic progress as standardized test scores. Okay, so just as a reminder, if a student is absent, it is his or her responsibility to get with their teachers to make up work and also to make up missed tests. Please do not assume that the teacher is going to do this on their own. Please understand they have anywhere between 180 to 210 students, so it is a lot easier if your student approaches them than to expect the teacher to remember, oh yeah, this student still needs to take up a test for me. We also talk about with the students, a high school student needs 8 hours of sleep per night. That would be awesome if they could get that. We also realize that they are involved in a lot, and sometimes that is just not possible. When possible, though, we do recommend that students get the 8 hours a night. You, as a parent, if you want to know how they are doing 24/7, you have access to all their information on the parent portal. The website is there. It's arabiangrades.com. And you should have received information on how to access your students' records. If not, let your counselor know and we can send that out to you. We also are trying to communicate with the different courses or different classes through the Remind app. And so we will send out information in regards to meetings, clubs, organizations, junior conferences, freshmen, scheduling, things of that nature through the Remind app. So if you've not signed up for that at this point in time, the information is here on the screen, and I would encourage you to do that. The other big resource that your students probably have mentioned is our LMS, and that is called Canvas. This is how the teachers sometimes send out assignments. They actually, some of them give tests and quizzes through them as well. Kids will turn assignments in through Canvas, so they have access to their Canvas account for each class. If you're not sure about it or need more information, you can contact their teacher or you can have your student walk through how they get into their Canvas account. With the freshman and sophomore class being all one-to-one, the majority of the teachers are utilizing this as their LMS, and this is how they are going to communicate and get information out to the students as well. The teacher contact information is on the screen here. If you need to email your teacher, it's just their first initial, last name, and then at smcsc.com. If you're not sure of the teacher's first name, then obviously contact a counselor, let us know, and we can get that information to you. The other thing we encourage you is, know the school calendar. When are things coming out? When are report cards due? When's the grading period in? Final exams, snow days, so on and so forth. All that information is posted on the website. I will say with the report cards, please note that what you see on the screen, that's basically going to be the report card. It's not something that we send out. And so as long as the grades are up to date, you will have 24/7 access to your students' grades and attendance as well. And the big thing we tell students that something they can help themselves is to just be organized. Organized in their school day, organized in their homework, just organized. It will help them prepare better, and it gives them the ability to make sure that they have everything they need for that particular course, that they're studying ahead, they know when the tests, they know when the final exams are. We talk about high school and how, if how they can meet new friends and how they can be involved and start kind of what we say building a resume. You know, do something with friends, get involved, join activities, go to a dance, go to a choir concert, go to a band concert, go to a sporting event. Just do something to get involved, get out and meet people. If you're an athlete, or if you are, one of those strong students in math, English, science, social studies, or whatever, join an academic team. We also have many clubs and organizations that the students can join as well. The handbook is online, and in the handbook, it lists all the different activities that a student can participate in. The other thing we talk about is community service, volunteering. These are all things, especially for the students who are looking at going to college, that colleges and scholarship committees will look at. Is this person, did he do more than just study? Was he involved in the community? Did he do volunteer service? We talk about peer tutoring. Did he help his fellow peers out in particular classes that they may not have been strong in, but that student was strong. So that is something that we strongly encourage, because by the time the senior year rolls around, we're asking them to present a resume, and they can put all those different activities that they were involved in into that resume, which definitely will help as far on a resume. And then we get to the academic part. And when you get to the high school, we talk about everything counts, because they have to have certain number of credits for particular diplomas. And so we encourage the students, we go over with the students the different diploma types, uh, what is required for those different diplomas, as well as what is needed in order to be successful, depending upon what they plan on doing after high school, whether that be military work or some type of post secondary education. Uh, we see up there it's called honors APs or dual credit courses. We really hit the dual credit courses their junior and senior years. So if you have a junior and senior, the next presentation will go into those in more detail. But those are courses that you can earn college and high school credit in. Honors your AP courses, those are different types of courses. They're our highest level of that particular area. So if you have a freshman, they may be taking honors English 9, or they could be taking honors geometry. The AP course that we have for freshmen would be the AP World History. The thing about those courses, as stated earlier, they are highest level course. They are our most difficult courses. They are also on a weighted scale, which means on our scale, which is a 12-point scale, if your son or daughter receives an A in an honors or AP course, instead of getting 11 grade points, they actually get 14 grade points. So it does help their GPA if they're able to be successful in those courses. We also talk about required courses versus elective courses, and that is something that we, as the counseling department, will help your student and you sift through as far as which ones are needed for the particular diplomas. The diploma tracks are stated on the screen. You have the Core 40, Academic Honors, Technical Honors, and Summa Cum Laude. We do give detailed information in the course book, which can be found on the website. And there's also information on the Department of Ed website. Now, the Summa diploma is a Pendleton diploma, so that will only be available through our course book. There is no information on the Department of Ed website about the Summa diploma. Talk about, the curriculum, what type of curriculum you take at high school leads right into as far as what you plan on doing after high school. What are your post-secondary plans and what's required of those post-secondary plans? We truly tell the students, it's not too early to start looking at what you want to do. So we talk about, if you plan on going to college or if you plan on going to the workforce or the military, what is required in each of those arenas in order to accomplish the goals that you set out. GPA, that grade point average, it starts to count. Test scores, SAT, ACT. Do you know what you plan on majoring in? Those are different things that students, when you're talking about high school and getting off to a good start, we start discussing that you are painting a picture for that particular area that you're going into. So take a student that's going into college. What they do their first semester of freshman year counts just as much as what they do second semester of their senior year. We tell the students that you're painting a picture for that college because when they are making their decision whether to accept or deny you, basically what they have is a piece of paper in front of them with your name, your transcript, and then your test scores. And that's what they're going to make their decision on. So we tell students to make sure that they get off to a good start, they study, they get organized, and that they make sure that they are on top of what is required for the diploma, as well as taking a challenging curriculum and being successful in that as well. Okay. A lot of the stuff, actually all the stuff that we are covering in this is going to be on a program that we call Naviance. And so what I'm going to do is walk you through, I'm going to kind of show you our website, and then I'm going to show you the Naviance program to where your students have access to. And we kind of call it our one-stop shopping because it's truly where we put all the information on for freshmen through seniors, depending upon what they're going to do, or depending upon what we're doing at that point in time, what activity we're doing with a particular grade level. So what we're going to do is we're going to get out of this screen here, and we're going to go to the Naviance website. Actually, we'll do this first. So if we look at this is just kind of a detailed kind of a Naviance as far as what it is, and they won't have to remember that website. I'm going to show you an easier way to get to that website. But each student in grades 9 through 12, they have access to Naviance. They should know how to get in, but it's pretty easy. It's their first name, last name, then it is the school password. And once again, we call it our one-stop shop. We will do different activities with different grade levels each year. So let me here, and let's talk about how do you get to the Naviance website. Well, we tell the kids if they can get to the district's website, which is the smcsc.com, and they can remember to go to the student button. They go to the student button, and it's kind of a resource because this has all the different apps that teachers may be using, and this is K-12. So this is not just a high school, but this is K-12 apps for all the different areas, all different grade levels that a student may be using or a teacher may be using. The one we're going to focus on is this one down here. It's called Naviance. So a student can just go to the student button, click on the Naviance, and this is what they should get. Now, the thing about it is not an email address. It is actually their first name, last name, like I said earlier, and then it is their password. So what I'm going to do is log in as my daughter. She's a current senior, and just kind of go through some things that we do with freshmen and sophomores in that program. When they get it, if they log in correctly, this is what they should see. So it should say, for them, if they're a freshman, it's going to say welcome class of 2021. And for a sophomore, it's going to say welcome class of 2020. But this truly is our main communication tool for the students. Just a quick glance as far as everything on the screen here. The what's new category is anything that's coming up at this point in time. So we will put that information out there, such as you can see on October 24th, we have the Air Force recruiter coming in. And then on the 23rd, we have the Navy recruiter coming in. We also, any schools, any colleges that are going to be coming in to visit at lunchtime will be listed there as well. And as you notice, Manchester University is coming in, actually coming in today at lunch. So it's just a quick reference for kids to pull up and say, okay, what am I looking at? What am I doing? What's going on? The links up here to my colleges, freshmen, sophomores, they are welcome to use those. You can click on them and kind of explore them. We definitely get into those more their junior and senior year. The other over here under the pages, it talks about just, what are office hours, talks about schedule changes, and just as a reminder, like it says in here, Schedule changes can only be made by the end of the first week of each semester. So we try to get information out and let the students know that. We have testing information, and then there's just a little bit of bio on each of the counselors in the department. I'll get to this Naviance test prep. I'm going to go back to that. It's a new tool that we're utilizing 9 through 12. But over here under the links, these are different information that we have posted. You will be using those more as your student gets older. So such as like the College Board or the ACT, that's information that those are college entrance exams that are required if you plan on going to a four-year school. There's also Parchment, which is our transcript, different activities, different links that we have here that students will utilize, like I said, more once they become juniors and seniors, probably more so than today as a freshman or sophomore. Over here, we have, this is something that if your student does not have a student email and not a school email, but a personal email, they can still receive messages as long as they get onto their Naviance account, because anything we send to them will be kept in their Naviance account over here where it says messages. And so my daughter here, she has one new message. Document libraries, anything if we want to upload, say like the course book, or if we want to upload different forms like the PE alternative form, you'll probably be able to find it here. Updates is just something that different universities send to us as far as what is going on at their universities, or if there's different opportunities that are coming up, like a college fair, the ASAP program through Ivy Tech. Like I said, it's just different universities or different organizations sending us information as far as what is happening in their area. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Naviance test prep, because this is kind of a tool. This is a tool that we have bought into, and so this is something that we really want the students to utilize. The Naviance test prep, if you click on that, let me show you, this is what comes up for Natalie. But when you click on that, if your student is in an AP course, they will get a drop down that right up here. It'll show a drop down. If they're in any AP course, they can get into it as far as and look at the different programs. So if we just look at the AP Biology one just here for Natalie, it'll take them through a little survey as far as what's going on. Just click here, get started, and it'll come up with a study plan for that particular student. And this just tells them as far as how long till the test date. All right. What I want to point out, because 9 through 12, even if they're not in an AP course, they can still do the SAT course. It is free. And what they can do there is it will have different practice tests. Once again, it'll start off by asking when's your next test date. And for Natalie, we just put one in. And so it'll say you have 114 days till the test date. The student goes through, they're going to answer some questions again, once again, going through Get Started. And they will have it has 64 knowledge goals for this particular exam that it wants you to master. You can come over here and there's different lessons that you can use. There's also flashcards that a student can use. And then if you want to go through practice, it'll tell you there's 375 questions, how many have you completed, what percentage you have correct. And then eventually, if you wanted to, you could take some practice exams. There's also a PSAT practice exam as well. So there's 8 of them. It'll give you the average time per question, correct answer, incorrect answer. It is just a really good tool to utilize, and we're trying to get out to all the parents and all the students to realize that they have access to this. And once again, it's on their Naviance account, and it is under the test prep. If they want to get back to the main screen, all they have to do is just exit test prep, and it's going to go here. You can log in or you can go back. Okay, so either way is fine. What I'm going to do is log in as Natalie again, and we'll finish up the Naviance information. Once again, as I stated earlier, if there are any questions whatsoever about any of this information, please don't hesitate to contact your counselor. But right now, just kind of go through for freshmen and sophomores what we're going to focus on them, and mainly what we did. And we went to classrooms and we did their course plans. So we clicked on, you just click on the courses and you click on Manage My Course Plan. And what we've done is we had the students go through and they made a 4-year plan and just explained to them that, this is not set in stone, that it can change, but it just kind of gets you a way to get organized as far as the different courses that you're going to be taking. Your son or daughter should know how to complete that course plan if they have not. If they do not know how to complete it, please contact one of us or have them come down and see us, and we will help them to end up finishing that plan. But it's just kind of a nice um, summary as far as what they would like to take. If you want to see, we'll just do Natalie's here. If you want to see it in a little bit easier to read format, you can click on this and it'll kind of go, it'll show you as far as what's required. It shows you the diploma. It shows you what courses they plan on taking. And so that's just something that you can take a look at with your son or daughter, and get what I feel a little bit more out of the program so they can get a little bit more organized. Okay. The other tabs I'm not going to go through at this point in time. Like I said, for the freshmen, we focus on courses. For sophomores, we will focus on careers. We've not gone into a classroom yet and done the career interest inventories with them, but we will. But I do encourage everyone, if they wanted to, this is their program. They can go through and do as much or as little as they want. It is a very robust program, and we really hope students will start utilizing it to the best of their ability, and especially the test prep part of it, which is, like I said, going to be a pretty good tool. They are going to come out with an ACT test prep as well. And once that has been out, we will definitely get that information out to all the students. Okay, so that kind of ends the presentation for 201 and 101. If you have any questions, the website is there, and you can look under Southern Department, or you can just email us directly, and that's going to be our first initial last name at smcsc.com. So if you have anything, please give us a call. If not, hope that this was informative and that your students, like I said, start utilizing the Naviance program as well as the website. Thank you.